It's going to be a long night, early morning for a lot of folks who are here tonight. And look who we have on set. And we've got a lot to talk to you about, my friend. UFC President Dana White is here. Let's first start with the fact that the two underdogs won tonight. Conor McGregor, your biggest star, did not win tonight. Do you regret at all having him take Nate Diaz in this fight, or was this just one of those nights that you go, wow?
Did you watch this fight?
It was amazing.
I have nothing to regret tonight. You know, this was one of those good old-fashioned fights. These two wanted to fight each other at 170 pounds, and they did it. Let me tell you what, Conor McGregor makes this thing fun, man. It's fun. This place was packed wall-to-wall. People were watching everywhere because people wanted to see a fight, and there was a fight tonight. Conor didn't win. But that's the fight game, you know. Nate Diaz took this fight on short notice. He came in, took some unbelievable shots in that first round, stayed in there, even got hurt to the body at one point, then comes back and wins the fight. It was unbelievable.
Were you surprised by Conor's approach? He fought like he was the bigger man.
Right.
And you think he might fight, you know, like a smaller man, try to pick at Nathan's leg or something like that. Do you think maybe Nate's weight played a role, or are you surprised by the way Conor approached this fight?
Yeah, you know, the thing is that when you come in at 170 pounds, you're fighting a bigger man, you're carrying more weight yourself, and you're dropping bombs for an entire round trying to knock the bigger man out. It's going to tire you out. But you can't deny, nobody can deny, that during the first round of that fight, you're like, oh, my God, this guy might be one of the greatest things that is, you know. And the fact that this kid will come in and fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, Nate Diaz stepped up, all the things that led up to the fight, tonight was a fun night, man. It was awesome.
And Dan, I agree. I think Conor McGregor's stock went up tonight. He got tired tonight. He got beat tonight. He should have, guys. He went up 2 weight classes in less than 3 months. It's never been attempted before. It was a sign of courage for me. Dan, here's my question. George St. Pierre was in the front row. I have not seen George St. Pierre at a UFC in 3 years. Why was he here?
Yeah, he wanted to come tonight. You know, George wanted to come tonight. He was in great spirits. Seemed like he had a good time, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
The rumor is that should Conor have won,
that's not true.
He was looking for UFC 200. Do we at least have a conversation going with George, one of my favorite fighters, for UFC 200?
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, so let's get back to Conor for a second, because I marveled this week that everything that he said you agreed with, that you guys are absolutely on the same page, fighter and promoter.
Yep.
And he continued to talk as he always seems to do. The way that he lost tonight, even though he's supposed to, he went up in 2 weight classes. He's still a champion. He's still a warrior. Do you think that will change his approach moving forward?
And it's not that he was supposed to win tonight, man. He moved up 2 weight classes but looked awful good in that first round. And, yeah, we'll see what happens here. Probably what would make sense to me is he goes back down to 145 pounds, defends his title, and we go from there. But let's see what he wants to do.
Let's switch gears now and talk about the ladies. And Holly Holm, in November, she beat Ronda Rousey, shocked the world in Australia, and we were up till 4 a.m. covering it for you, and we were happy to do so. But she wanted to fight, and she told us on Wednesday, I didn't want to wait 6, 9, 12 months for Ronda Rousey. Miesha Tate wanted this fight. She got it, and she won in the most dramatic fashion that you can. What did you make of that fight?
Yeah, Miesha has wanted that title for so long, and Misha's been the number 2 best fighter in the world in the women's 135-pound division for many years. And it was a very dangerous fight. The odds makers in Vegas are nuts for making it what they made. And I said it from day one. I said it to Misha's team. Not Misha's team. I said it to Holly Holm's team. This is a dangerous fight. You're guaranteed a rematch with Ronda. This thing will probably be the biggest fight in UFC history. And stylistically, Holly is a very bad matchup for Miesha Tate. And that's exactly the way it played out tonight.
So why didn't Holly's team listen to you?
You know, her manager, she has a manager who is a really old boxing guy, and you know, just one of those guys who thinks he's smarter than everybody else. And you know, the big fight, the fight of Holly's career was waiting for that Ronda fight. But you know what? She stepped up. She took a chance. This is the fight game, and it didn't go her way tonight.
You know, that was a really close fight. I mean, Holly Holm was, I think, 40 seconds away from winning that fight. I mean, do you think she deserves a rematch? Is that what we're going to see?
No, I think that Ronda now will fight Miesha Tate for the title. That's what's going to happen. That's what I said before this fight even happened. Whoever wins tonight will fight Ronda for the title.
Have you heard from Ronda yet?
I text Rhonda. Rhonda wasn't watching the fight. I text Rhonda, and she said, "What happened?" And I said, "Misha just choked her unconscious." And she said, "Oh, looks like I got to get back to work."
Ooh, exciting.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know if she means acting or fighting or whatever. You know, she's scheduled to not. I already know what you're going to ask me. She's scheduled to not come back until October or November. But it doesn't mean I can't ask.
Yeah, well, good for you. Well, you know, and that's what I was going to say. I had read that you said that Ronda's return match, the one that was supposed to be against Holly, could be all the way down the road in November. UFC 200, are you willing to wait for that contest if that's the case, or will you try to speed it up?
Well, it's not that it's. I can ask. You know, Ronda had a deal. Listen, Ronda Rousey has worked very hard for 3.5 years in this company, and believe me, she did anything that was asked of her and went above and beyond the Call of Duty. And if she wants to, you know, stay out until October, I'll let her do that.
The one thing before we let you get out of here, because I know you've had a very, very busy night, but the one thing I think we marvel at, we talk about when it comes to you, you answer every question, you give everybody the fights they want to see when they want to see them. Nate Diaz called out Conor McGregor when he looked incredible in December, and he got the job done. Yep. How impressed were you with Nate Diaz? What do you think he can do now coming off this big win over Conor McGregor?
We might never see Nate Diaz ever again after this. He made a lot of money tonight. So when we walked by, somebody said, what are you going to do with your money? He said, I'm buying a yacht. So Nate Diaz is probably going to go out to sea, and we'll never see him again. Otherwise, listen, I'd love to get, you know what would make a lot of sense? And this isn't the fight I'm making, I'm just saying. Him and Robbie Lawler would make a lot of sense. His brother beat Robbie. Ooh. Robbie is now the world champion, and Nate became very, very popular tonight. So we'll see what happens with Nate. But listen, for me to try to predict what one of the Diaz brothers is going to do, who knows, man?
We watched you all week, and every time you picked up the microphone, your face was like, oh, Lord. But we appreciate you announcing the fight on SportsCenter. We've got plenty of love for you here, and we hopefully that will continue.
Thank you.
All right. That, of course, UFC President Dana White, as he always does so kindly after every pay-per-view event, joins us here on this.